Welcome to this week's installment of The Passion of the Digital Artist. And here he is, the passionate digital artist himself, Jeff Mueller.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, Xavier, how are you doing?
Jeff, I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
What do we got to talk about this week?
We got a lot to talk about, but we're going to go quick. I finished Cape Cod Magic, and I started Serene Marina. So I'm pretty excited about finishing Cape Cod Magic because Cape Cod Magic took me about 60 hours and it took about a month. And under my canvas deadline I purchased 6 canvases, and 5 canvases are going to be in my Cape Cod series. And I have a deadline of October 31st, and having the first painting take about a month's worth of time in about 60 hours made me a little nervous. But now that I'm on Serene Marina, I'm about 5 hours into it, and it's going about as fast as it should. So we'll cover that. But the first thing I'd like to do this week is cover the digital studio, because I've been getting a lot of people asking kind of, you know, what do I have in my studio? Well, the first thing I have in the studio is what we're using is the Kodak Flip HD video camera, which I take a lot of my reference photos for my paintings and a lot of video with it, so that it covers. I've got the video to go with the painting. Then the second thing I've got is my iPhone. iPhone's very important. It hooks up and it completes my studio so that no matter where I am, I'm in direct contact with what I need to be in contact. It sends everything to the iCloud, so if I take a picture, when I come back it's on my computer and on my iPad. So I have my iPad hooked up to that also. I use my iPad for a lot of, lately I've been using it for books, for doing research. I'll download an iBook on marketing or different types of way of presenting and submitting. So I'll download that book and I'll be reading it at nighttime on my iPad. But the iPad does a lot of other things also. And I also have my presentation for going into art galleries right on my iPad. And then the last, I've inherited, because my daughter just got a new MacBook Pro, I've got the old MacBook Pro, so I've got a laptop too. Everything connects. So that's the greatest part about it. So if I'm on vacation, I'll take my laptop, take my iPhone, take the camera, and then I've got my Canon 5D camera that we use for the higher res pictures like we did. We actually used this in the Mysterious Absinthe Drinker photo shoot. So it has different, you know, it just, depending on what I'm doing and what I want to do with the paintings, I'm either taking high-end pictures or some medium low-end pictures. It just depends on what the painting and how much painting I want to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. So that's okay.
You're leaving off one important piece of equipment.
Oh
and
yeah.
It's in the...
Oh, first I've got also the iMac back here. Everybody knows that. That's the center point. And then also there's, every once in a while, the best part is, if you need to relax, have a little bit of scotch.
What is that, Balmoral single malt, I believe?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And it's,
it was a very good year, whatever year it was.
Smoky.
Good and smoky.
Yes, very good.
One thing I wanted to mention about your iCloud, I think the thing that I find fascinating is not only are you connected among all your devices and connected anywhere that you have mobile uplink or a hotspot, but you have the redundancy. You smash a device, it's stored out on the cloud. All your work is backed up that way, and that's awesome.
Right, and that's another amazing thing about the iCloud. And then tonight, Xavier was here before. We did our fantasy football draft, which was real fun. We had 6 people in the room plus a 7th on the phone, and then my nephew was in Florida, was also participating, and it went really well. We had a good time, didn't we?
It was awesome.
All right, so that brings us to Cape Cod Magic. It finished. Everybody kind of saw last time I was pretty close to finishing the grass, but this time now I've finished the lighthouse, and I'm quite happy with the results. Overall, the light, I did no computer effects to the grass. The grass has so much time, and bushes has so much time and effort. I left that alone. It just when I added any kind of effect, it took away from some of the detail that I had painted. But when it comes down to, this is a good thing to show, the detail right through here on the lighthouse. This right through here, and I hope you'll be able to see it on the thing. The purples and how they reacted was about 5% of a dry brush filter. And then some of this right here was from the fresco filter. So it added in some nice texture that I didn't have completely in the painting and that I liked. So I left in some of that texture. And the filters, even in right through here, you can kind of see this little bit of going. Now, if it's a little bit too computerized, I'll just paint on that once we print it out.
And you can see where you've enhanced the bushes there.
Yep.
And you can see that it looks like painted brushstroke. Now back away from it a little bit, Jeff.
Yeah, as you back up.
Now look at that. Unbelievable.
We're looking. It comes across almost. And I love the sky. The sky is in colored gamut, which means that it's printable for going onto the canvas, and the detail and the feeling, and that's where I felt where the magic is happening with that lighthouse. It's almost as if the lighthouse is illuminating the clouds up to the sky.
It's quite the effect.
I really enjoy this painting. I like it. And then that takes me to Serene Marina,
Ooh.
the new one. And I'm giving you guys a little bit of taste. I'll show you what's been happening here as you go. You can see what I've worked on so far. That gives you a good feel, putting the gray background in there. Now, when I take it up, I'll quick show you. We did this with, I don't want to spend a lot of time because this is the process is pretty much similar. But if you take this area like right through here, you can see, and when I take it away, you can kind of see the detail and what's happening in the photograph, and then you put that in, and it becomes very painterly. And I've always enjoyed painting water. I love water. I love the reflections. I've painted water in the Mysterious Absinthe Drinker, the fountains dripping. I just love that part. But I've been on a lake, and when you see sometimes the wind blowing and rippling, and it's catching the reflections, and you get that feel, and you're just looking at the water, even live sometimes. It's so beautiful in this picture, and that's one of the reasons why I picked this picture, is I just love what's happening in these areas of the reflections of the boats and the poles. And then I loved what was happening in the seaweed down here, and I just like this color palette also. So that's why I went with that. I color corrected this. I darkened around. I made this painting. When I saw it, I knew it was a painting. That was one of the pictures that, oh my God, that's going to be a painting.
That is the perfect Marina Harbor scene there, and blue is probably my favorite color.
So that's what we do in this week, and next week when we get back at it, this will be pretty close to finished, and we'll be back around. But until then, you got anything to add, Xavier?
Have a good week, folks.
Have a great week.